Howdy hey, this is Frakbox, and I'm here with TruBluBlur.
Long time no see.
So, I did promise in the last episode that in this current latter day episode, I was going to talk about how I now have an old iPhone 4.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I use as basically just an iPod. I just turn it on airplane mode.
Yeet. Yep, that didn't go too well. Okay.
I like how you used yeet in the appropriate sense. Just yeet.
Oh, it's not even a term that I use.
I know. Well, here's the problem is once you start using the word yeet, ironically, you start using it unironically.
I know.
And then you don't stop.
That's the thing, though. I don't do a whole lot of ironic
So
words.
I talked the training class.
That, I see what I should have done.
Oh, yeah, so the training class that I was in, right? That I mentioned a couple episodes ago for work. A lot of the people in the training class were people who were a good 5, 6, 7 years younger than me.
Yeah.
I think I was actually the third oldest person in the class.
Gotcha.
Out of 15 people. The other two being basically maybe a couple years older than me, and I'm like 29.
Yeah, okay.
The rest of everybody else was like 24 at most, maybe 25.
Yeah, okay.
So there were some youngins. And the word yeet was probably the most used word
Really?
in this training class.
That's so crazy.
Other than the thing that we were, other than the company's name that we were training under.
Crazy.
Every so often, yeet.
I don't even know how to deal with that information.
And so it's a little hard to be in a culture where you're hearing this word used over and over and over, and it doesn't impress on you somehow.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
So anyway,
that's where I need to go. I went in the wrong door last time. Okay. I went to that door, but I needed to go to that door.
Oh, gotcha. So as I promised, I was going to talk about that iPhone 4 that I found.
Yes.
So I'm surprised that I think I mentioned this on the channel, but
I possibly? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Anyway, so maybe a couple of years ago, I was maybe 2016 or so.
Of course,
maybe 2015. Wow, that's a long time ago. I was living up in Oregon City with my grandparents. Just there was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of backstory to that, but I was just kind of living with my grandparents, and they weren't even really like there. But like everybody lived at the house. There was like my uncle, my aunt, my other aunt living in a camping trailer.
Gotcha.
My cousin and her baby. My sister.
Crazy.
And we just kind of all were there. Like there were, I think I mentioned this on the channel, but at the time there were so many people coming and going because like both me and my uncle were kind of more night people, and so we were up late at night. My uncle was a printer, or he is a printer. He like prints like ink. Like he works for a printing shop, and so the best time to do that is at night, because you can better control the temperature. So he's up late at night. So there was always someone up, so we never locked the doors.
Gotcha, yeah.
Like
okay.
That's what kind of environment we were in. That just somebody was always up and about and doing something, so the doors never needed to be locked.
Yeah.
So I never had a key.
Gotcha.
I've literally, in all the years my grandparents lived there, I've never had a key to their house.
Crazy.
And my parents, I don't know that... I wonder if my mom ever had a key. My mom, her parents, basically, my grandparents. So I don't know if she ever had a key.
That's too funny.
And she grew up there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so when they were moving, because basically my like great uncle was having some trouble. He had dementia, and so there was a lot of stuff going on. So they purchased his house over where he lived, which was way on the other side of Oregon. And so, because he just wasn't in control of his, of anything, really.
Yeah.
And so they purchased the house so that at least he could live in the house.
Gotcha.
So he was starting to decline. So they decided to sell their property and move in with him. And that was kind of a lengthy process, which is kind of
for sure
why they weren't there when I was living there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I was like borrowing my grandpa's truck, which is why the truck that I drive is actually, I bought it from my grandpa.
Okay.
So I was borrowing it and then I bought it. So I'm getting a little off topic.
A little bit,
but,
yeah.
Anyway, so they were moving and I was helping them move basically, and it was a lot of stuff. When we were moving their bed out of their room, I discovered an iPhone 4 sitting underneath the bed.
Oh, I see. It was just there.
It was just there. And I was like, my grandparents weren't there. We were basically moving all their stuff out for them. And I went to, I think, like my aunt, and I was like, did Grandpa lose an iPhone 4? And she's like, oh, yeah, he loses phones all the time.
Oh, man.
And so it didn't have any charge because it was underneath the bed and lost. So I kind of like pocketed it, basically, and then just like kept helping them move.
Oh, this leads nowhere, doesn't it? Dang
yeah. So maybe a couple of months ago, from now, like a couple of months ago, I decided to finally like take this iPhone 4 and see if it actually worked.
Okay.
So I pulled it out of my storage that I have, just basically the various electronic devices that I have, and I plugged it in. I found like an iPhone, like, you know, the old flat cables that iPods and that iPods used to have.
Yeah.
The 30-something pin port, because they switched over to like the lightning port or something. Anyway, so
yeah.
I found one of those old cables and I plugged it in to a charge, and it charged.
Okay.
But it, like, when I turned it on, it said, this iPhone has been lost, please call this number. I was like, okay, so it's in lost mode, so I'm not going to be able to use it.
Okay.
So I went to my mom and I was like, hey Mom, do you happen to know Grandpa's password for his like Apple ID? And she's like, oh yeah, this is what it is. So my mom knew his password, and so I typed it in. It's like, oh, it looks like it needs his passcode too. Mom, do you know his passcode? Oh yeah, this is what it is. And so literally, I was then sitting holding my grandpa's old iPhone 4, had full access to it.
Ah, dang it.
So I wiped the device basically because it had a bunch of garbage on it. Just it was slowing down the phone, and I basically just put music on it, and now I use it as an iPod.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Like super convenient.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh dear. That does extra damage because you're in the water, right?
I think a little bit.
So that's my story of the iPhone 4 that I now have.
Yeah.
And it's actually really sleek.
Nice.
Like, Apple sure knows how to make a sleek-looking device.
Yeah.
It's not one... Well, I'm trying to think back to when was the iPhone 4 made? Because I'm wondering... I mean, I certainly wouldn't have wanted to use it as a phone.
Yeah.
Because frankly... let me see. When was the iPhone 4 released? 2010. Oh yeah, there's no way I would have wanted to use that in 2010. I had a much better phone in 2010. Yeah, especially since like, yeah, I mean, I remember back in 2010, I was doing like tethering.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Like, you know how you can like use the phone's Wi-Fi or the phone as a Wi-Fi source?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And, like,
okay.
Connect your computer. So back in the old days. So I actually talked with somebody who worked at T-Mobile that I knew, or used to work at T-Mobile. And I had told him that I had used a lot of data doing tethering, and that my dad had once called our mobile provider, and they had mentioned to him offhand, somebody on your plan uses about 1,000 times more data than everybody else combined. And so that was me, because I lived in a camping trailer at the time, and I was basically tethering my phone to a computer, and I was using it as basically a router.
Gotcha.
And I was like doing online gaming with it.
Oh man.
And also, you know, watching YouTube and downloading things, and so I was using just lots of gigs of data.
Yeah.
So I told this story to somebody I knew who worked at T-Mobile, and he's like, you were one of those. You're the reason.
That's so funny.
You're the reason we had to implement these policies. And that's why they limit the data now, is for tethering. And that's why you have to pay extra for tethering, because it used to be just part of your phone plan.
Gotcha.
Until people like me abused it and basically use their phones as routers.
It's all your fault.
It is. It is.
I've been here.
I mean, I even downloaded. I downloaded like an app. That was back when you had to download an app to do tethering to begin with.
Oh yeah.
Which is why it wasn't like on a phone plan, because people had. Well, I guess if it. Yeah, they just didn't have functionality into the in the operating system yet. So I don't know what Apple's like if there were any apps for Apple, because like Android was kind of a wild west for app development.
Gotcha.
Because I mean, it's anything's allowed. So
yeah.
I don't actually remember when I started the last episode.
Good job.
But I've probably been talking for the last 7 minutes. I'm gonna assume 7 minutes.
All right.
If I'm actually right, like if it's been 7 minutes, like, can I get a like, guys?
Oh
like,
man.
Like, no, seriously. Like if I'm like actually right about it being 7 minutes, like I'll be so surprised. And even if it's not 7 limits, like give it a dislike if it's not 7 minutes. Interact with it interact with my video. Make the YouTube algorithm like my video.
Right.
Because for the YouTube algorithm, it doesn't actually matter if you like or dislike a video. If you interact with the video, that's a positive for you. It like the YouTube algorithm shows people things that are being interacted with more.
Yeah, so it's gonna let you know one way or the other.
Yeah, so literally, like, even if you dislike the video, it still helps me. Which is like really backwards. It shouldn't be that way. It's sort of like how.
That just means that it's simpler coding than it should be.
Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, there's no way that like the Google like algorithm can be like interpreted by one person anymore. It is actually fairly complicated.
I mean, that's fair,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Anywho's,
so that was a little detour for our heart piece, and now I can go to the boss room. Because I actually opened the boss room and was like,
maybe we
but
should...
I'm not ready.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm headed back
so
there.
This is, so we're ready to face the boss?
Yeah. Because
Like
I got this water flowing through that door, and I couldn't remember what it did, so I wanted to go check before I actually went in there.
Oh, gotcha.
And it led to a heart piece, so it was worth it.
That was worth it. It didn't give you an extra heart, though. Right?
No, it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah.
Up, pull up. Thank you.
Does it like turn into tank controls underwater? Or something?
Well, after he initially dives in, there's like a period where you don't get to like control him. He's just going down because that's what he's doing, and it's just irritating. Hi there.
Fairy.
I have one already, and the other bottle is health.
Yeah, might as well just forget it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Facing the boss. Oh, it's a good thing we landed in water.
Yeah, because that totally wouldn't feel like concrete on your legs.
Yeah. Well, Link's a superhero anyway.
No, down.
Speaking of superhero.
Superhero?
Or by the time this comes out, like I think Endgame will be coming out soon.
Oh, that's a possibility. I can't remember what the date is on it.
I think it's like the 26th or the 28th or something. So this video come out, I think, yeah, maybe a couple of weeks before Endgame comes out.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But it's a good thing we can breathe underwater.
I know, right? This is far.
And it's a good thing we're not getting the bends. The bends would suck.
Zlel the boss with its eyeball. It's clear, obvious weak point.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
It's going to move around between those things.
So does it have multiple eyes?
No, I think it's just one. I don't really remember.
What a strange creature that has eyes in its tentacles.
Yes. To say the least.
I want to... Whoa. I guess...
I don't like it.
I guess that's the end of you. Oh, why did it spit you out? That doesn't make any sense. It could have just eaten you.
It did not. Shut up. Let me at least go over here before you yell at me.
Well, I mean, it pauses time. Doesn't Midna pause time?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
do you know that eyeball is pretty important? Maybe you should shoot the eyeball. Does the bow work underwater?
no.
I would imagine it
Only the claw shot.
would. You know what's really funny is in Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. The only weapons that really work underwater are piercing weapons, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you know what's technically a piercing weapon? Bows and arrows.
Oh, yeah.
In D&D 3.5, bows work underwater.
That is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. 3.5 had a lot of wonkiness. What are we supposed to do, even? Are those... Oh, they're bomb fish.
They are, in fact.
Made in a bomb factory. They're bombs.
Oh,
Right.
no.
No. Uh-oh.
No.
So, are we...
I gotta get the boots off and swim away when he does that.
Oh, gotcha. So how are we supposed to get the bombs into his mouth? Because I assume that's what we have to do.
Well, probably, but I also still have to get the eyeball.
The eyeball. Oh, right. Well, maybe...
Which I pull out with the claw shot, but the bombs are actually, like, they have priority on the Z targeting, so if there's a bomb fish, I can't target the eyeball.
So, I would imagine we have to use the bomb fish for something, though.
Probably. Gimme.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we just target the eyeball, that probably doesn't do the trick, though. We probably have to do something else. I wonder what it is we have to do. I wonder if... Is that eyeball even useful?
I don't know. I can't imagine you'd be able to see with it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's not really attached to anything, so... Also, the fact the eyeball can, like, move around, it kind
Yeah.
of seems more like the eyeball is more of a, like, an entity into itself. Okay,
Kinda,
so
yeah.
this is its next form.
Yes, because that was way too short.
Oh. Oh, dear. This is why the game is rated T. Giant eating monster. Oh, so it's not actually just an anemone thing. It's actually, like, literally a dragonfish eel thing.
Yeah.
Oof.
That was just its face.
Oh. Because it likes to play coy.
Because that's a type of fish.
Yes. I think you have to...
So
Can you use the claw shot when you're in...
I can.
Okay.
I actually wasn't sure until just now because you asked and I checked.
Ah, yes, that's me asking the important questions. You
Right?
have to get closer? That's a little ridiculous.
It's because when you're Z targeting, you aim
Maybe-
where it was
may-
instead of where it's going.
Maybe you have to get in front of it or something? And then...
You know what? Fine. What? It's so irritating.
Did you see its back? It's got an eyeball. Yeah, I had no idea, Minda. No idea
I
whatsoever.
knew that's what she was going to say.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, this is just like Shadow of the Colossus
Oh, yeah.
or Titanfall.
I have not played said game.
Nor have I. But I actually have, I think, Ico, which is a game made by the same folks,
Oh, yeah.
the PlayStation 2, and I bought it, and I was thinking of playing it, but I haven't played it yet. Because I remember playing a demo for it at Walmart back in the day. I think I've mentioned that on the channel before. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
That was a little frightening.
Yeah, I think... Oh, whoa, it's like rodeoing.
I know.
I think this mode's actually a little bit easier, to be honest.
Probably.
I think maybe were the bomb fish more of a distraction?
I think
in the
they were
last mode?
just to get in the way of the Z targeting, I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh. Uh-oh. Distraction, falling rocks.
Yep.
Oof.
I think I got it.
I think that just about did it. We've saved the world. Or at least the ocean.
This part of it.
Well, the ocean's like 70% of the world.
Well, I mean, this is a lake.
And if this were Wind Waker, it'd be even more.
I mean, yes. yes, it would.
Oh, it's sucking all the water out. How convenient.
I know, right?
At least there's like a natural explanation as to why.
Yeah, he actually broke a hole in the wall.
I mean, just when the lava increased.
I know, that was odd.
It's like, what's the natural mechanism that's causing this? Oh, look, it just spit out a heart piece.
Yep.
Oh, it was a Twilight beast.
'Twas, in fact.
Boop. Oh.
It creates another fused shadow.
Oh, right. That's what we were doing.
That's right.
And so, have we now gotten all of it?
No.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Yes, in fact, we have.
Because I remember there was, 3 or 4?
Something like that. I'll just take that. I'd like to point out how similar it looks to her helmet already.
Yes.
There's obviously a connection there.
Yeah. So I think we should also call the episode. So is this continuing without you pressing anything?
No.
Okay.
I am the one pressing the button.
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and call the episode right here, right now.
Right.
And stop pressing A.
Okay. I was trying to get through it real quick.
Yeah. So I mean, it's fine because we have like a controlled place where we can start the episode. But
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna call here.
Okay.
So this is Frakbox.
This is TruBluBlur.
Have a great day.
Keep on running fast.